Hello, my friends. We will start the class with chanting Om Mantra. Hello again. Hello again, my friends, and welcome to Real Yoga class number 31. How are you doing? Uh, Today, in our class, we will be learning something special. We will be learning Gayatri Mantra. It is a known, famous, well-known mantra, one of the most ancient mantras there is. And in the way I see it, it is a mantra for enlightenment, mantra that guides us on our spiritual path towards God, or towards enlightenment, or towards understanding of what reality is, and the experience of what is real. I have been practicing this mantra for many years. I have started practicing when I was 19 years old, and now I am almost 40. So it's been 21 years of chanting this mantra, and I have a whole long story, and I will want to share with you maybe something of my own experience about this mantra that we are going to learn today. However, to make this class, this practice with you more a practice and less a lecture, I think we can also remember that we are already sitting with our spines straight. If we are sitting on the ground, on the earth, on the mat, as myself, that's great. If you cannot, if you don't want, you can also be sitting somewhere in a chair as well, no problem. Although sitting on the ground usually, well, it gives better results for yogic practices because of some reasons. However, the most important thing, as we know, is spine straight. We don't want to be sitting like this when we are meditating, because then our meditation will not be very good. So your spine is straight. That makes you more aware, more energized, more understanding, and this is what we want. Again, the position of your legs also depends. As you can see myself right now, I'm sitting in my favorite full Siddhasana pose. Accomplished means Siddhasana, accomplished pose. It is more of the advanced postures, but you can always have a simple Ardha Siddhasana. Half of this Siddhasana is simply you have one of your heels touching your first chakra, and we already know where our first chakra is from our previous Real Yoga live classes. If you find this position impossible or uncomfortable, you can also sit with legs crossed more like this. The last class I got the comment which I hadn't responded on the live stream from straight from the source about sitting and the fact that when sitting without the support, the legs are usually more higher, which can be normal. You simply sit the way you can. If you, as I said when I started practicing meditation, I sat like this. My legs wouldn't go lower. I wasn't flexible enough. But then with time, legs went lower and lower. Then you can be sitting like this. Then you can be sitting like this. Of course, then you can go into more difficult kind of Ardha Padmasana or full Padmasana, full lotus pose. However, one of my favorite poses, or actually my favorite one, is Ardha Siddhasana. Again, I have explained already. Whichever heel can go first. Although normally, usually it is taught that your left heel should go to your Muladhara chakra first, but I think you can practice with both regarding Ardha Siddhasana or regarding full Siddhasana. The most important thing we already know is spine straight. Elongate your spine. You can employ Jnani Mudra, position of your hands like this, palms facing upwards. Usually you have your hands like this, one to the left, one to the right. However, there are different positions or mudras for the hands as well. For example, you may see that I sometimes have my hand like this. You can also have your Jnani Mudra in your lap, or if you are meditating with both hands, you can have your both hands in the lap as well, like this. Yes, but the most important thing, spine straight. And another detail, the tip of the tongue, your tongue is touching the roof of the mouth. This also helps open the energetic pathways that help with meditation. And as we are sitting in this meditation posture, we start observing how we feel now that we are starting our 31st real yoga class. How do we feel as right now as we are starting? Observe the body. How is the body feeling? And finally, observe your breathing. How is the breathing going? Is breathing pleasant, easy? We will move into breathing exercises of diaphragmatic breathing. Let's prepare ourselves for mantra practice, for Gayatri Mantra practice with breathing. So abdominal diaphragmatic breathing, just the diaphragm. easy. It is easy to breathe like this, but it may be harder to have the mind, the concentration, the awareness in breathing. So not only we are breathing, but we are meditating on the breathing that is happening. Now let's move into full yogic breathing. So exhale, inhale stomach, inhale chest, exhale chest, exhale stomach, inhale diaphragm, inhale the coastal muscles, intercostal muscles, exhale chest, exhale abdomen, repeat. So we are breathing deeply. And when you inhale, you can also imagine that you are inhaling not only forward into your stomach, but also backwards into your lower back. And when you continue inhaling into your chest, you imagine that not only you are inhaling forward, your chest protruding forward, but also sideways, left and right, and backwards as well. This conscious breathing will make your lungs expand even more and will train you to use your lungs even better. Breathing will become more efficient, more empowered. Time to empower ourselves. With your spine straight, you continue breathing. You can continue full yogic breathing, what you are doing right now, or you can come back to abdominal diaphragmatic breathing only. Meanwhile, as you continue practicing, I want to talk a little bit more about this Gayatri Mantra that we will start soon. So, as I have already mentioned, Gayatri Mantra for me is a mantra that is basically an invocation towards the highest spiritual light, towards the highest spiritual sun, the sun of the universe. It is an invocation towards this sun of the universe, this light, and the light that is of three states that we will talk about this more now as we will get into the meaning of Gayatri Mantra and each individual word. But it is invocation of the three states, the physical, subtle, and spiritual states of this universe, invocating this highest spiritual light, the primordial sun, to enlighten us. It is basically we meditate upon this spiritual sun so that this illuminates us. This is the translation of Gayatri Mantra, more or less, but we will get into this soon, word by word. Before that, I think I want to chant Gayatri Mantra one time, just so you hear what we are going into. Om Bhūr Bhuvaḥ Svaḥ Tat Savitur Vareṇyaṃ Bhargo Devasya Dhīmahi Dhiyo Yona Pracodayāt. So as you can see, this is not a very short mantra, but at the same time it is definitely not a long one either. It is not a hymn. I chant, I know some Sanskrit hymns which are really long, so this one, Gayatri Mantra, is a short is a short compilation, or a short mantra in Sanskrit language. Again, it is one of the very, very, very old mantras chanted for many thousands of years. It is a known mantra, well-known mantra, and also it is a well-respected mantra. Everybody respects this mantra. Yes, it is for enlightenment, for spiritual purposes, for a spiritual path, but at the same time it also is used even for the cases of, well, should I get into this? How I got into this mantra myself also was another reason. This mantra is also advised for people dealing with demon possession, with bad energies, with and this is where my spiritual path started when I was 18, 19, um, involved in a Christian sect, which finally was not a sect of God, but basically I had really difficult experiences there, and this is where I got experience with the paranormal world and with with entities you may call demons. So my Gayatri Mantra also started because I wanted to get rid of those energies which were tormenting, literally tormenting me in a very intense and crazy way. That could be a whole story in itself, a very, very long one. Let me know, would you like to hear that story? Let me know in your comments. By the way, you can give the like, thumbs up to the video. But this is the story, my personal story of Gayatri Mantra. So yes, it is also a recommended mantra for people who are dealing with these spiritual issues like demon possession, bad energies. Also, I could say mental kind of energies. Also, could be like things like insanity, mental issues. I think that this mantra could be very useful. Gayatri Mantra is a more like general mantra for light. It is a mantra of light, and it is one of the best mantras to have, and one of the best mantras as your first mantra. So if you go into path of mantras, usually you start with Om, and then you continue the the most like the mantras that you should practice. The safe and good ones to continue are like Gayatri, what we are learning today, Mahamrityunjay, another of my special mantras. Before one goes into I shouldn't say more advanced, but more specific mantras, and there are many mantras. However, the fact that Gayatri Mantra may not be as specific as some Kali Mantra, Durga Mantra, or whatever, or some other mantra, doesn't mean it is less powerful. No, it is a powerful and, as I said, well respected and praised mantra, and it has been throughout thousands of years. Gayatri Mantra. I will want to go on explaining now the meaning of the words one by one, so that you have an understanding what exactly you are chanting, what it means. So, uh, so the mantra starts with the mantra Om, 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 Bhūr, Bhuvaḥ, Svaḥ. It starts with Om. And all of the mantras start with Om. Om is the invocation. Much can be said about this. We already spoke about the meaning of the mantra Om, but by itself, as a first sound of each mantra, it is the acknowledgement and and reminding and remembering the reality of existence. The setting point is the reality, and this is Om. Om. It continues Bhūr, Bhuvaḥ, Svaḥ. I will go straight with these three different words because they have something in common. They all deal with the states, with different states. So Bhūr is the physical state, and at the same time it is earth, physical state and earth. Bhuvaḥ is intermediary state, which is more subtle, which can also be the state of mind, and prana, which means energy. So it is Bhuvaḥ. And Svaḥ, the third state, is the spiritual state. So Om, Bhūr, Bhuvaḥ, Svaḥ. It continues with Tat, Savitur, Vareṇyaṃ. Tat, one meaning of the Sanskrit word Tat is that. Another meaning is God, the source of existence. Tat. Savitur, the next word, comes from Savitri, which is sun. The source of everything, the sun. Very beautiful to me. And for me also to, what's the word? Sun for me is a very beautiful thing. And basically Gayatri Mantra is a mantra for the sun. I will want to also maybe say that I like to chant this mantra also to the sun, and I have had also powerful and deep experiences chanting at the sunset, when the sun is setting down and I'm looking at the sun setting down and I'm chanting this Gayatri Mantra to the sun. For me brought different connection to the sun itself, and in this way I would dare to say with myself, because we all carry sun in us. So Gayatri Mantra is also you can say a mantra for the sun in many regards, for the sun of the universe. But you can also chant physically to the sun, the physical sun. So this is the word Savitur, Tat Savitur Vareṇyaṃ. That divine sun, and the word Vareṇyaṃ, Sanskrit word Vareṇyaṃ, means praiseworthy, worthy of praise, excellent. So again, denoting the excellent quality, the divine quality of this sun, this primordial existence, divine. The mantra continues, Bhargo, Devasya, Dhīmahi. Now, Bhargo means like effulgent, shining, divine. Bhargo. Devasya means God or divine. Bhargo, Devasya is like Deva, a Sanskrit word for gods. Bhargo, Devasya, Dhīmahi, the last word of this part, means meditate. We meditate upon this divine, shining sun of the universe. And the mantra continues, Dhiyo yona Pracodayāt. Dhiyo means, it can be intellect, understanding. Yo, the, the, the next Sanskrit word yo means which, na means hours, so that means of hours. And the last word, Sanskrit word Pracodayāt, means guide forward, guide towards enlightenment. So I have explained all of the Sanskrit words one by one, but in general this is a mantra, meditating upon this spiritual light, the most beautiful, the most true light of the universe, God itself, and asking it to guide us forward in our enlightenment. That is the meaning of Gayatri Mantra. I think we can continue with practice. We can start chanting it all together. And the way to learn it, I think one of the best ways to learn it is you can go repeating me. So I will go repeating those words one by one, and you will go on repeating. And I will start by saying one time and saying second time, but the second time you repeat with me. You will soon understand. So I will start. Spine straight. You can use full yogic breathing when you inhale, and then exhale also full yogic breathing sequence while you chant. So we will start with Om, Om, Bhūr, Bhūr, Bhuvaḥ, Bhuvaḥ, Svaḥ, Svaḥ, Tat, Tat, Savitur, Savitur, Vareṇyaṃ, Vareṇyaṃ, Bhargo, Bhargo, Devasya, Devasya, Dhīmahi, Dhīmahi, Dhiyo, Dhiyo, Yona, Yona, Pracodayāt, Pracodayāt. How did it go? Let's repeat. Om, Bhūr, Bhuvaḥ, Svaḥ, Tat, Savitur, Vareṇyaṃ, Bhargo, Devasya, Dhīmahi, Dhiyo, Yona, Pracodayāt. Let's continue. I will chant again both, but I'll chant and you chant with me. Om, Om, Bhūr, Bhūr, Bhuvaḥ, Bhuvaḥ, Svaḥ, Svaḥ, Tat, Tat, Savitur, Savitur, Vareṇyaṃ, Vareṇyaṃ, Bhargo, Bhargo, Devasya, Devasya, Dhīmahi, Dhīmahi, Dhiyo, Dhiyo, Yona, Yona, Pracodayāt. Pracodayāt. By the way, I have the words, the written spelled words in the description of this video, so you can also see if it makes it easier for you to understand and pronounce. You can also read along in a description below the video. We continue learning Gayatri Mantra, spine straight. Om, Om, Bhūr, Bhūr, Bhuvaḥ, Bhuvaḥ, Svaḥ, Svaḥ, Tat, Tat, Savitur, Savitur, Vareṇyaṃ, Vareṇyaṃ, Bhargo, Bhargo, Devasya, Devasya, Dhīmahi, Dhīmahi, Dhiyo, Dhiyo, Yona, Yona, Pracodayāt, Pracodayāt. Continue again. Om, Om, Bhūr, Bhūr, Bhuvaḥ, Bhuvaḥ, Svaḥ, Svaḥ, Tat, Tat, Savitur, Savitur, Vareṇyaṃ, Vareṇyaṃ, Bhargo, Bhargo, Devasya, Devasya, Dhīmahi, Dhīmahi, Dhiyo, Dhiyo, Yona, Yona, Pracodayāt, Pracodayāt. Continue again. Om, Om, Bhūr, Bhūr, Bhuvaḥ, Bhuvaḥ, Svaḥ, Svaḥ, Tat, Tat, Savitur, Savitur, Vareṇyaṃ, Vareṇyaṃ, Bhargo, Bhargo, Devasya, Devasya, Dhīmahi, Dhīmahi, Dhiyo, Dhiyo, Yona, Yona, Pracodayāt, Pracodayāt. Again. Om, Om, Bhūr, Bhūr, Bhuvaḥ, Bhuvaḥ, Svaḥ, Svaḥ, Tat, Tat, Savitur, Savitur, Vareṇyaṃ, Vareṇyaṃ, Bhargo, Bhargo, Devasya, Devasya, Dhīmahi, Dhīmahi, Dhiyo, Dhiyo, Yona, Yona, Pracodayāt, Pracodayāt. Om, Om, Bhūr, Bhūr, Bhuvaḥ, Bhuvaḥ, Svaḥ, Svaḥ, Tat, Tat, Savitur, Savitur, Vareṇyaṃ, Vareṇyaṃ, Bhargo, Bhargo, Devasya, Devasya, Dhīmahi, Dhīmahi, Dhiyo, Dhiyo, Yona, Yona, Pracodayāt, Pracodayāt. How is it going? Is it possible to repeat along with me? How is it going? Now we will go into more difficult. We will go chanting the whole mantra all together. Again, you can find the written words of Gayatri Mantra beneath the video in the description, so we can chant all together. I will remind, have the spine straight, and we have already been repeating Gayatri Mantra 7 times. 7 times. How do you feel after having repeated this sacred mantra, this ancient mantra for 7 times? Do you feel more enlightened? Each mantra has its own energy, and as you chant, as you practice a particular mantra, you start to feel it more and more, and you start to feel its energy and how it affects you. And over time, you also start seeing, yes, how it affects you, how it affected your life, your energy. Because as we chant those mantras, we are also kind of making those mantras reverberate in our own being. And each mantra is a particular vibration. And each particular vibration does something particular in our being. I like to, is it the word joke? I don't know if it's the word joke, or say that, well, I have a few tattoos, but it is nothing because my whole being inside is tattooed with mantras. I have repeated mantras so much in my life that I feel that it's like written deep within me. It's like I'm all tattooed within myself. I can feel the presence of those mantras and the way they have formed me or helped me, because mantra is a sacred vibration, and by repeating it, you vibrate it into yourself. It becomes a part of your being, of your body. It becomes a certain pattern, certain sacred pattern that influences the way you are, even the way you perceive things. And as I say, as you chant mantra, you can understand and feel it more and more, and you can see the effects it does to you. And myself, after having been chanting this Gayatri Mantra for 21 years, I can definitely say this has impacted me. I wouldn't even find words to describe this beauty that I perceive in this mantra, and the effects it has done to me. Definitely, I feel that it had brought me to deeper understanding and living experience of what reality is, beyond all of the perception we have in this world, all of these problems, all of these issues, all of these pains, so much suffering, all of this drama of existence. This Gayatri Mantra, over those 21 years of chanting it, I feel that one of the effects or changes it had done to me is it brought me into definitely more spiritual, more transcended understanding of unity, unity of all, an experience of life itself. And I always perceive this Gayatri Mantra also as a light. It is shining light, it is light, divine, eternal light. And therefore it is also sun or sun-like related to me. And I definitely can feel that it has enlightened me, brought more light into my being, into my experience. It had impacted me very profoundly, and therefore this is a very sacred mantra to me, and the one that is very beautiful, and this is why I'm sharing it with you. Yes, Gayatri Mantra. So let's continue chanting. This time we will make it more difficult. We will chant the whole mantra. We will go chanting it straight, the whole mantra, all of us together. Again, if you don't know, if you don't remember the words, plenty of Sanskrit words, you can take a look at the description of this video. I included the translation of the mantra, and there, if you read from up to below, you can see you can find the mantra, Gayatri Mantra, to chant along with me. Again, spine straight. Let's start. Just continue with me. Om Bhūr Bhuvaḥ Svaḥ Tat Savitur Vareṇyaṃ Bhargo Devasya Dhīmahi Dhiyo Yona Pracodayāt. Om Bhūr Bhuvaḥ Svaḥ Tat Savitur Vareṇyaṃ Bhargo Devasya Dhīmahi Dhiyo Yona Pracodayāt. Om Bhūr Bhuvaḥ Svaḥ Tat Savitur Vareṇyaṃ Bhargo Devasya Dhīmahi Dhiyo Yona Pracodayāt. Om Bhūr Bhuvaḥ Svaḥ Tat Savitur Vareṇyaṃ Bhargo Devasya Dhīmahi Dhiyo Yona Pracodayāt. Om Bhūr Bhuvaḥ Svaḥ Tat Savitur Vareṇyaṃ Bhargo Devasya Dhīmahi Dhiyo Yona Pracodayāt. Om Bhūr Bhuvaḥ Svaḥ Tat Savitur Vareṇyaṃ Bhargo Devasya Dhīmahi Dhiyo Yona Pracodayāt. Om Bhūr Bhuvaḥ Svaḥ Tat Savitur Vareṇyaṃ Bhargo Devasya Dhīmahi Dhiyo Yona Pracodayāt. Om Bhūr Bhuvaḥ Svaḥ Tat Savitur Vareṇyaṃ Bhargo Devasya Dhīmahi Dhiyo Yona Pracodayāt. Om Bhūr Bhuvaḥ Svaḥ Tat Savitur Vareṇyaṃ Bhargo Devasya Dhīmahi Dhiyo Yona Pracodayāt. Om Bhūr Bhuvaḥ Svaḥ Tat Savitur Vareṇyaṃ Bhargo Devasya Dhīmahi Dhiyo Yona Pracodayāt. Om Bhūr Bhuvaḥ Svaḥ Tat Savitur Vareṇyaṃ Bhargo Devasya Dhīmahi Dhiyo Yona Pracodayāt. Observe how you feel. How is this mantra affecting your being? Do you feel any difference in you? Difference in the way you feel coming from this practice, basically chanting. By itself we are performing a certain pranayama, breathing exercise. Chanting like this is by itself a breathing exercise that affects the way we feel, the way we physically feel, breathing in itself, the singing part of this. And then the mantra itself and the vibration of Gayatri Mantra. Are you sensitive enough to feel how this mantra, how this vibration of these words is affecting you? Just look into yourself, observe. What can you feel? We will continue a little bit more, but before we continue a bit more, I want to share a bit more of my own experience of this mantra. So I guess first of all I would like to ask you how do you feel chanting, and is it easy, and how How do you feel when you have to continue for chanting a mantra for a longer period of time? I'm not sure how many minutes we have chanted so far, but could you continue chanting, or you already feel your breathing muscles kind of tired from chanting, and maybe your voice also kind of getting sore from chanting? Because I would like to share with you my personal memory, and this is how my mantras started, because Gayatri was my first mantra I have started. And I have beautiful, or, well, I have a memory. I was, yes, I was 19 years old, and I started to chant this mantra to deal with my own personal issues, as I have told you. Spiritual, dealing with the possession, which, by the way, this Gayatri Mantra really helped me with, I think. But also the spiritual enlightenment, or coming closer to God, which I wanted. So I started chanting this mantra. I was 19 years old, and I went to the forest, and I started chanting in the forest. I have read in some book or somewhere about this mantra. I have read that if you chant this mantra for 100,000 times, I don't remember, was it 10,000 times or 100,000 times? If you chant this mantra, you will automatically become enlightened. So it was like simple, just go. So I started, go. And when I chant mantras, I'm not trying to chant like more fast so I can make more mantras sooner. Of course, you can chant mantra much more fast, and this way, for example, when I chant mantras, as you see, I go with my mala, with my this rosary mala bead. It has 108 beads, and when I chant mantras, I use this. Of course, you can start chanting a mantra much more fast, and therefore you can, complete your one mala, much faster. However, I was never like that, and even since the beginning, I would chant, taking time, also being mindful that this is a sacred mantra, this is a sacred vibration, and trying to chant more fast. I don't think is 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 a way to go. Trying to chant more fast in order to accomplish more quickly, I don't think is the way to go. But what I remember is that I started chanting this Gayatri Mantra. These were the first times I started chanting Gayatri Mantra, and it didn't take me long. Maybe after 10 minutes I couldn't chant anymore because my breathing was tired and my voice became sore, and I couldn't physically continue with chanting. I tried, but I couldn't. And the next day my voice was still sore. I couldn't chant. I had to take a few days break. So if you are feeling somewhat alike as myself many years ago, if you cannot chant mantras for longer time, then don't feel bad. I was there. And to share my own experience, my testimony, I would say, is that nowadays, after all of these many years of chanting not only Gayatri Mantra but many other mantras, however, Gayatri was always one of my main ones. Om, Gayatri, and during the last 5 or 7 years, also Mahamratyunjay, Triambakam had been my main mantras, although I know many, many, many more mantras and Sanskrit hymns. But this Gayatri Mantra I also have been chanting a lot, and I am chanting a lot during the shamanic ceremonies which I give. So as you as you most likely know, I'm also a shaman. I guide the ceremonies with powerful shamanic master plants from the jungle, such as ayahuasca, such as San Pedro. And in these powerful shamanic experiences where your consciousness changes and you can experience really challenging things, spiritual things, Gayatri Mantra is one of the main mantras I chant during the ceremonies. So, why? Because this is a powerful and beautiful and enlightening mantra, and this mantra is safe to chant. When you start into the practice of mantras, you don't go into some more specific mantras because they can also be dangerous for you. If you go straight into some Kali mantras, as I have said, you can have issues, you can have problems. It may not be the most intelligent thing to do. However, mantras such as Gayatri, our mantra today, is safe to practice, and it is good to practice. And this is why I also include this, not just include, but this is one of the main mantras which I chant when I personally work with people coming to me as a shaman. And in those ceremonies, shamanic master plants ceremonies, it is one of the mantras that you will definitely hear me chanting. What I'm saying, this is a special mantra for me. And what I would also like to also say, then my own story, that now I can continue chanting this mantra on and on and on without any stop. It just flows through me to the point that sometimes a magic thing happens. Especially it happens more often during the ceremonies like ayahuasca, is that I chant mantra, I chant Gayatri Mantra and then I stop chanting mantra. However, the mantra continues. People can continue this mantra chanted even though my mouth is closed, and I myself, I can also continue. This mantra goes on. My voice continues chanting as if it exists on the astral level or something along those lines. And therefore, even with it's magic. One of the magic things that can happen in these ceremonies with master plants is Gayatri Mantra continues. So this is a special and very sacred mantra to me, and I am sharing with you my personal experience and insights of it, so that you know more about this mantra. Let's continue a bit more the whole mantra. Let's continue chanting all together. So again, spine straight. Om Bhūr Bhuvaḥ Svaḥ Tat Savitur Vareṇyaṃ Bhargo Devasya Dhīmahi Dhiyo Pracodayāt. Another thing I would like to say, as I have already mentioned, that we are chanting mantra, but at the same time we are doing a physical exercise of chanting, physical breathing exercise. Now you may have noticed how I'm breathing. Usually I take 2 breaths, 2 full yogic breaths as I chant. The first one, Om Bhūr Bhuvaḥ Svaḥ Tat Savitur Vareṇyaṃ. And then comes second breath, Bhargo Devasya Dhīmahi Dhiyo Pracodayāt. So usually I take 2 breaths, but if 2 breaths are too difficult, this way of pranayama, breathing exercise, 2 is too difficult, you can also do it in 4. Sometimes, for example, or sometimes you are walking or doing something and you want to chant, it may become more difficult to complete this just in 2 breaths. So then it will be Om Bhūr Svaḥ. Again, breathe. Tat Savitur Vareṇyaṃ. Again, breathe. Third time. Bhargo Devasya Dhīmahi. Again, breathe. Dhiyo Yona Pracodayāt. So, for example, if you are walking, you can also chant this mantra, but then the breathing will probably be 4 breaths. And at the same time, if you become more advanced, if you can, your breathing is more powerful, you can even manage completing the whole mantra in 1 breath. Let's see if I can do this. Om Bhūr Bhuvaḥ Svaḥ Tat Savitur Vareṇyaṃ Bhargo Devasya Dhīmahi Dhiyo Yona Pracodayāt. So it was all under 1 breath. This is how you also go with mantras as a pranayama practice. Let's continue chanting a few more times. Om Bhūr Bhuvaḥ Svaḥ Tat Savitur Vareṇyaṃ Bhargo Devasya Dhīmahi Dhiyo Yona Pracodayāt. Om Bhūr Bhuvaḥ Svaḥ Tat Savitur Vareṇyaṃ Bhargo Devasya Dhīmahi Dhiyo Yona Pracodayāt. Om Bhūr Bhuvaḥ Svaḥ Tat Savitur Vareṇyaṃ Bhargo Devasya Dhīmahi Dhiyo Yona Pracodayāt. Om Bhūr Bhuvaḥ Svaḥ Tat Savitur Vareṇyaṃ Bhargo Devasya Dhīmahi Dhiyo Yona Pracodayāt. Om Bhūr Bhuvaḥ Svaḥ Tat Savitur Vareṇyaṃ Bhargo Devasya Dhīmahi Dhiyo Yona Pracodayāt. Om Bhūr Bhuvaḥ Svaḥ Tat Savitur Vareṇyaṃ Bhargo Devasya Dhīmahi Dhiyo Yona Pracodayāt. Continue with your spine straight. You may even engage Mula Bandha in your mantra practice. Om Bhūr Bhuvaḥ Svaḥ. Tat Savitur Vareṇyaṃ. Bhargo Devasya Dhīmahi. Dhiyo Yona Pracodayāt. Om Bhūr Bhuvaḥ Svaḥ. Tat Savitur Vareṇyaṃ. Bhargo Devasya Dhīmahi. Dhiyo Yona Pracodayāt. Let's make three more Gayatri Mantras. Om Bhūr Bhuvaḥ Svaḥ. Tat Savitur Vareṇyaṃ. Bhargo Devasya Dhīmahi. Dhiyo Yona Pracodayāt. Om Bhūr Bhuvaḥ Svaḥ. Tat Savitur Vareṇyaṃ. Bhargo Devasya Dhīmahi. Dhiyo Yona Pracodayāt. And one more, the last repetition. Om Bhūr Bhuvaḥ Svaḥ. Tat Savitur Vareṇyaṃ. Bhargo Devasya Dhīmahi. Dhiyo Yona Pracodayāt. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. If you chant mantra for more repetitions, you can, when you end, you can end with this Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, also kind of mantra. When you end many different repetitions of a particular mantra. Spine remains straight. Observe how you feel. Do you feel the vibration of this mantra still echoing, still vibrating in your body and in your being? Be aware of the energy in you created with this mantra. How do you perceive it? How do you perceive this mantra? What has it done to you? Are you sensitive enough to feel it? Even if you don't, even if you consider yourself not sensitive, just by observing, just by feeling into yourself, by observing yourself, you will become more sensitive, more intuitive. Yes, more sensitive to these subtle dimensions. Our practice today is slowly approaching its end. Observe how you feel now at the end of the class. Do you feel better than at the beginning? How do you feel? You can write me the comments. People who have been through the class and have done this whole... Actually, we have, see, a quarter of a mala, a quarter of 108 beads, which is actually quite good. Gayatri Mantra obviously is a longer one, just by measuring by breaths. For example, if you chant Om, you know, it's one breath. One Om is one breath. However, Gayatri Mantra, it can be two breaths or even, you know, more. So this way it also takes more time to finish one mala of Gayatri Mantra. However, today we have done one quarter, which is also remarkable. So how do you feel, my friends, after chanting this mantra? And I will look into the... My question, bro, what are you doing? So, bro, we are doing real yoga here. We are doing working with ourselves physically, but also spiritually, so that we are dedicating time to ourselves, to understand ourselves, to connect with ourselves, to empower ourselves, so that we can also empower our life. We are empowering ourselves so that we can empower our life, and this way also help those around us as well. Thanks for the lesson. Thank you, brother, for coming. Thanks for this video live broadcast. Thank you, my friends. Bless everyone. Paulus, my brother Paulus, literally my brother. The same blood. Pauliau, džiugu tave matyt. Om, om. Pauliau, bless you too. Yes. Bless all of you, my brothers. Blessings. We all... this is also what I would like to say now. The community. We all practice together, and we can also create this more of a community. By the way, you can join the Telegram community, real yogi tribe, my Telegram channel group on Telegram, where we can communicate closer, where I'm sharing my practices, my daily journal, how much I am practicing. So this is where we can connect as well. Beyond these YouTube video lives, we can connect there. And this is also one of my, let's say, goals. What I want to create is not just me, but I want this to be a kind of community, us, so that we can also inspire each other and support each other and hold each other accountable in our practice, in our life. And now that my brother Paulus had blessed everyone, and Akala Vlogs also had blessed Pauliau, bless you too. And now I see Paulius Jacikas, bless Dolama. Very nice mantra singing. So we are blessing each other, our community. The beautiful thing about having a community where we all wish the best for each other, and I think this is a powerful place to be, and it is powerful to have people and friends in your life who wish the best to you. And I wish the best to you, so you can consider me your good friend. And if you want to join this community of ours, in the description beneath the video, there is a link to our Telegram channel. Uh, so yes, we are ending our class today. I would like to remind you that I'm very happy and very excited because I am giving my shamanic retreats where people come and stay with me for usually duration of 2 weeks. However, there is also a custom time. I also give private retreats where people come. People come to Peru to spend time with me, to go to the jungle, where we embark on the spiritual path, either with master plants like ayahuasca, San Pedro, Ichirixanango, other powerful consciousness changing, very powerful master plants, or without plants, but with meditation, with yoga, and living in the nature. This is what we do. This is what I love to do, to be a guide of this, to be the shaman, to be the guide. And if you find yourself interested in the retreats with me, you can find more information about this on my website. Also on my same website you can find ways to have a video call, one-on-one video personal call with me, because I guide also video calls. These are paid service where I also can help you personally with your questions, with your life path. And another way to support me, if you find these videos helping you, you can consider sending me some money, financial support, and the information about that you can also find on my website. My website, dolamamantas.com. Again, you can find information in the description below. This is what I wanted to say, the ways to support me. And the most important thing, as I say, is that you continue your own practice, you continue dedicating time to your own self, to your own empowerment. And here, this is what we do. We empower ourselves through physical body, asanas, through breathing, pranayama, through powerful energetic exercises, kriyas, bandhas, mudras, meditation. This is what we are doing here. Dedicating time to empower ourselves. This is work. This is not leisure. This is practice, but this is the practice that makes us better. And therefore, congratulations to all of you, my brothers and sisters watching this. If you have made this video to the end, please comment done, made to the end. And here we will end. I guess this time we can end with three, this time three Om, chanting mantra Om. Ready? Spine straight. All of the best to you, my friends. See you in the next live. Have a great time.